All right. Today's bundle of joy is a Red Pill TikTok compilation by the Red Pill Savant. I just really like this channel, but if you want another channel to subscribe to, there's Mr. Moments. I guess the amount of subscribers he already has isn't enough, so he's begging for more, and it's not a bad channel. I just don't care for the begging, which is why I never ask anybody to, subscribe to my channel. I'm getting old. All right, let's do this. As usual, I'll put the link in the description. Telling me after we lost everything, we're free to do anything. Right, come on. Come on. Masculine archetype. It's a sophisticated savage. Dresses well, classy and rugged. Head, heart, something. I don't know. They lost me at spiritually minded. Date a hot girl. We don't cheat because we're used to the attention. Nothing about any of that is true. And that's just the lazy, it's just a lazy refutation, if refutation is even a word. You'd think I'd know that since I'm a journalist, but all right. No. Don't date hot girls unless they worship the ground you walk on, because they will cheat on you and probably give you the clap, and it's just not worth it. Yeah, they're hot, but you also don't know how many layers of makeup they're wearing and if their hairs are wigs or not. It's just find someone who doesn't make you want to blow your brains out every day.
Used to be attention because you always have it. When something better comes along, you'll grab it.
And I want to say something that has absolutely nothing to do with this because it just popped into my head. There's no such thing as female oppression in America. You're being treated like men with more privileges than we'll ever have. And all you're doing is something that we're not allowed to do, which is complain about how hard life is. So enough with this men have it easier shit. The only difference between us as far as being treated equally is concerned is that we just know nobody gives a fuck if we complain. That's why we don't do it. We're not privileged, we just know better. All right.
Well, I've talked to guys and I'm looking at them and I'm saying, there's no way you should not be getting women.
Yeah.
Like, the guys on my 600 pound, like, okay, fine, I give you that. You that big, you strapped to a bed? Okay, fine. But it's guys here watching this right now who have abs, who are 5'11 and can't get women. And it's all due to insecurities.
And you're probably treating them like they have worth as human beings. According to them, that's like the most just unattractive thing you could possibly do. So they complain about being treated like nothing but possessions and sex toys. But that's also the only thing they want to be treated like until they're old and worn out and wrinkly and disgusting and they have to settle for somebody. But prior to that, that's all they care about. That's why they thought Hot Girl Summer was a great idea, because they hate being objectified and used for their bodies.
They're afraid to approach a woman. Well, you remove part of your drive for pornography, and so now you don't have that sexual.
We're afraid to. I wouldn't even say we're afraid to approach women. We just choose not to do it anymore because there's no scenario in which we can do that where the end result can't be prison. We're not afraid to approach you. We're not intimidated by your success, and we're not intimidated by you. We're just fed up with how much power you've been given.
Urge to overcome that anxiety, and so you stay timid for your entire life. You know, it's now possible for young men to look at more beautiful nude women in one day than any man has ever seen, you know, prior to 10 years ago.
Yeah, think about that, incels. And if you don't want to be incels anymore, go to the gym and make a lot of money, and you won't be incels anymore. Enough of this wham, 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 woe is us bullshit, because it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
20 years ago than any man in history had ever seen. That's not nothing. That's something. And to think that doesn't do anything to you, it's like, no, that likely does something to you.
I also record on my phone, so if this video cuts off because I ran out of time, I'm not going to make any effort to edit it. I used to have a really high effort channel, and then I had it for 12 years, and then YouTube deleted it and didn't even bother to tell me why. So until I can get some kind of assurances that my channel won't get deleted, it's going to be a while before I do high quality content, if you don't consider this high quality content, because 13 posts a day might seem easy to do, but you have to think of them, and then you have to research them, and then you have to figure out what the point is, and then you have to figure out if it's eye-catching enough for people to click on it. So even that's not as simple as it seems.
Here's the dating ranges of women by age. So 18 to 22 is their college stage. At this point, they're into doing really strange stuff, sexually and non-sexually, even stuff like witchcraft.
After 22, they're useless as wives, and that's only assuming that they're virgins when you meet them at 22.
They do weird things with like sage candles and stuff. They're into just being as odd as possible. They're going to grow their armpit hair out and get like a bull nose ring and all that goofy stuff, tattoo weird things on their body. So 22 to 28 is the marry and have kid years.
Yeah, and another reason why men don't approach women anymore is because you were so obsessed with being treated like men that that's how we view most of you now. And you have nobody else to blame that for that but yourselves, because you can't just take our word for anything. You have to wait until reality blows up in your face to finally realize, hey, they were right all the time. And even then you can't give us the credit, because that would be enabling the patriarchy, and we can't do that for some stupid fucking reason.
This is when they're going to be as track-ton as possible and just try to have the standard white picket fence, you know, tire swing type marriage, and bust out as many kids as possible like an amusement park. So 28 to 35, I would say, is the divorce saga. This is when...
Another reason why men don't bother getting married anymore is because they know that the only reason why women get married is to divorce us. I don't know. These videos would be a lot less painful to sit through if I had a sponsor. It took a while before that didn't taste like Skittles anymore.
You know, the hormones change. Their husband can't do anything right. They're not getting the attention they used to get. So they're going to have kind of a midlife crisis. They're going to find every Chad, Ray, Tyrone, Pookie.
And then they're going to blame men for it.
Call it. And those guys are going to be with your wife while y'all are, you know, at the end.
You know why men used to choose the husbands for their daughters? It's because what the depression levels of women have been getting higher and higher and higher ever since feminism was introduced into our social structure. And it's not a coincidence either. So have your hot girl summers and fuck around in your 20s until your pussy lips are as loose as Joe Biden's morals. See what happens. That shouldn't have taken that long.
Stages of your marriage, or as soon as y'all break up. So keep that in mind. 35 to 45 is when they're just trying to be relevant. At this time, they kind of revert back to the college years of doing strange things again. You know, they post weird things about, you know, being a Wiccan and all that stuff. They're just trying to stay relevant, and they're compensating. So, kings, stay fresh, stay woke, and immediately when you meet a woman.
And if she sells her body online or otherwise, she is for, as Future likes to say, the streets. She is not worth marrying. You don't marry whores. Have a little bit of dignity and self-respect. If she's not a virgin when you meet her, and I mean a clean version, like where she didn't have anal either, she isn't worth it, because you're the one who loses everything when she finally decides to divorce you. So if she's allowed to destroy your entire life in divorce court, the least you can do is have that standard. Enough with, don't listen to their fucking Jedi mind trick brainwashing bullshit.
Put her in one of these stages so you can deal with her more effectively.
And last night he went through his girlfriend's phone while she was asleep. I wouldn't have done that, but he said curiosity got the better of him.
I just saw this video. Shout out to this guy. He usually gives good advice. But I'm going to talk about the guy that messaged him. It's crazy that we live in a world where you could fucking get cheated on, but you feel bad because you looked through her phone, but you just got cheated on. That's crazy.
That's because you think she's more important than you, and she's not. If you're curious about her phone and you can get into it, look. Because if you're curious, there's most likely a reason, and it's most likely a good one. Unless you're schizophrenic. In that case, you shouldn't be in a relationship at all.
I broke trust. People talk about trust, right? How do I know that I should trust you? You can't just trust random people, right? You don't just randomly trust.
I don't trust anybody, and I mean that literally. The best I hope for is that the people in my life that I care about don't screw me over. But as far as trusting people, no. Homie, don't play that. Tupac was serious when he said that trust can get you killed, because you can. But even if it's not to the most extreme, you still shouldn't trust people at all. Just hope that they won't fuck you. Over.
A friend that you've known for a year. You have to build trust. And trust is built by seeing people in situations that you usually don't see them in. So if I haven't seen you curb other dudes because you're with me, that has not been built yet. We do not trust each other in terms of that. You don't just build trust out of your ass. You checked your phone and you dodged a bullet. Imagine it went on for 5 years. Good thing you found out.
This isn't even intelligible English. You'll have to read it if you click on the thing, because it starts with Yo BD thought you couldn't replace him, and I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's crazy because at the end of the day, your baby daddy won.
Baby daddy.
You making videos about him. And if I'm your new man, I'm asking you, like, why is you still stressing him, bro? You made this video to get at your baby daddy. You can still appreciate your new man without making captions or statuses or whatever it is about your baby daddy. Your baby daddy's still in your head. He won. Like,
rent free. Unless you pay his child support. Yeah, we're still good on time. These girls want white weddings, 100K cars, and 30K wedding rings, but are stuck in bars running up body counts. Bingo! Ding, ding, ding. Come on down. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right, and you've won a car already. If they can have a list of 1 million demands, you can have your demands too. We're men, and sometimes I think we forget that, but if they bitch and complain that you have standards, just deuce them out like Antonio Brown. Like, peace. I think he's still a wanted fugitive, by the way, too.
Every time a man lets a woman down, she becomes more masculine. If you want women to be more feminine, stop.
You supposed to come in a relationship healed and prepared to make this work. You think somebody finna...
Just because we can't meet all 48,000 of your nonsensical, undeserved standards doesn't mean that we're letting you down. It just means that you're insane.
do some extra work because of the shit you allowed yourself to go through? This shit don't make no sense. If a man is acting gay until the right woman come along, she ain't gonna never want him. Ain't you gay? Oh no, I was just acting like that because it sound fucking stupid. Either way, they walking away because you sound stupid. What do y'all be saying? I don't get this, man. You don't have to be feminine.
And there's not a man on this planet who is attracted to your masculine energy. And no, it's not impossible to turn it off, because if it were possible to turn it off, it wouldn't have gotten turned on in the first place. You are what you are. You need therapy and medications. And lots of both.
Why don't WNBA players get paid nearly as much as NBA players?
Because nobody watches the WNBA. They might next season, since Joe Biden treasonously traded her for an arms dealer who specializes in murdering Americans. But there's really nothing we can do about that anyway, because conservatives are spineless, coward shitbags who only pretend to actually care about America on the 4th of July, and they're usually too drunk all day to even remember why they pretend.
This is super untrue. The WNBA player.
I do not like the way conservatives function, because the only thing you've conserved over the last 200 years is liberals' ability to be tyrannical. That's it. Nothing else. That's why your churches and your religions are dying out and atheism is exploding, because you don't believe a goddamn word you say about anything, which is why a pedophile was allowed to be inaugurated the most powerful man on the goddamn fucking planet, and while you stood by and did absolutely nothing about it in 2020. You almost make me more sick than the liberals do.
Are actually paid more than the NBA players when you take into consideration the total revenue of their respective leagues. See, these are the numbers that everybody's stuck on. The NBA players bringing home $5.3 million a year, while the WNBA players bring home on average $130,000 a year. If you look,
and they don't even deserve that, because they don't make any money at all. The NBA subsidizes them so that they can make it look like they make money, but they lose money every fucking year, and they're still getting paid. So I don't know what the fuck Megan Rapinoe or Rapinoe or whatever that crazy dyke calls herself is complaining about, because you're already making more money than you deserve.
Look at the surface level, then you won't understand the discrepancy between the two numbers. But let's dig into it a little bit more. When we see that the NBA has a revenue of $10 billion and the WNBA has a revenue of $50 million, it starts to become crystal clear as to why that discrepancy exists. But that still doesn't explain how I said that the WNBA players are making almost 4 times more. So what I'm going to do is show you how much of the total revenue of the league that the women are bringing home.
I don't care at all. Really, at all.
Next day, stop giving yourself that much credit.
But no, hold on. Let go. Why can you do that? Why?
The same reason you guys can, because I'm not in tune with myself. That's why.
Brittany Renner is complaining about being asked about her body count. I think I said this earlier already. If she has one when she meets you, she's not wife material. Because if she has one when she meets you, it means that you're the guy she's settling for. And that should be totally unacceptable.
Most women don't behave that.
It used to be
that way. So when a woman does, let me finish. When a woman does, and she's even though a man can, and it's different for you than it is for me. Because emotionally, those women, we want a woman that can emotionally bond with us, not one that's been who can't later on. So it's different.
Let me say
They are more likely to leave you, according to psychology studies. A woman with more than 2 bodies has a higher rate of divorce with a man.
Cheers to being a whore, and now she cries every day because she can't find a husband.
According to psychologist.com.
And most women don't even learn from women like Brittany Renner. You would think, after seeing enough lives of feminist women go completely down the fucking toilet, maybe it's not a good idea to become one. But do they do that? No. And then they talk about America like men are the reason why it's a problem.
They say don't check your girl's phone, bro, or look at their message or anything, and I know fucking why. I couldn't understand. I didn't know. I didn't fucking know.
I don't like to include my personal life in these videos because nobody cares and it doesn't feel appropriate anyway, but I know a teenager who killed himself over a girl because he was too afraid to talk to anybody about it. He was too depressed and too ashamed of the thought of even doing it. You're having that problem, talk to somebody, even if it's me. I know you can't direct message me, but my phone number is on probably Twitter, and you can always contact me through here. It's not worth it. He was only 16. It's fucking terrible.
The whole time, sat here getting lied to. The entire time while I'm sitting here trying to get us an apartment, all this shit, and you lying dead to my face, bruh. I could have swore I was being crazy.
And that's why we treat you like objects instead of human beings. You are treated the way you want to be treated.
Or I wasn't though. For an entire year, I bust my ass, paying bills, making shit happen. Please tell me the point of this shit. Please. How does this make any fucking...
There isn't one. Don't get married and don't let a woman live with you. When I was a kid, there was a song called "If You Want to Be Happy for the Rest of Your Life, Never Make a Pretty Woman Your Wife." Don't ever make a woman your wife, period. Happy or not, because even the obese women in this country think they're tens who deserve 6-foot tall chads with 6-pack abs and $1 million a year paychecks. It's fucking stupid.
No matter how long it's been, bro, it could be 6 years. 6 years.
You are morbidly obese and you're telling guys that they're not good enough for you? Again, with the patriarchy shit.
Just don't trust them. No matter what, don't fucking trust them. That's my advice to you. Do not trust any of them. They're lying. They're fucking lying.
Just always be prepared mentally to kick her to the curb if you have to, because at least if you prepare mentally, it won't be as painful and frustrating.
And their minds over it.
You know
Good stuff.
what pisses me off? Everyone thinks it's such a big deal that I had 86 sex partners.
It is a big deal that she had 86 sex partners, because she had 86 sex partners and she became attached to every single one of them in some way. So now, if you want to date her, your personality has to coincide with the 86 other personalities that she's already had, that she's already attached to. If they ever complain about their body count or they belittle you for asking about it, it's because they know that they're fucked as soon as you ask that question. Or they should be anyway.
That does sound crazy as fuck to me too.
86! The government turned the lights out. Men would be nominated to be the protector. If there was a flood that came in here in this room right now, all of you guys will jump in the boat and we'll be outside of the boat. If I jump my ass in that boat, all of y'all will look at me like this. The hell are you doing in here? I don't want to die. No. Jump your ass out. There's a lady that needs some room. You see what I mean?
Men are useless.
It wouldn't take much for the men to be protectors overnight, but we tell men to stop doing this, give up this, do this, be fair for this, that.
Coach Greg Adams is a grifter, but he basically tells the truth, but he does it disingenuously because he's only doing it for money. I'd rather just tell you. Hello?
Hey, it's Amazon.
Okay, can you just leave it by the door?
All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too, man.
There could be a problem on the horizon if we continue that.
If you're a man, don't ever allow yourself to not get what you want. What you need to do, boys and girls, is you need to understand the transaction here that's going on, all right? Like, I'm going to give you me, you're going to give you me, and then usually it's an attraction thing, but chicks will get attracted to you sometimes if you play your game. Do not give them you and all the good stuff and help them and all this shit if they're not giving you what you need. If you're not getting what you want out of this relationship, get the fuck out.
If it's a one-sided relationship, then there's no point. Because if it's a one-sided relationship, that's how you become Chris Watts. And there's not a bitch on this planet who is worth becoming a Chris Watts over. His life is ruined, and his legacy is ruined, and there's nothing he can do to fix that. And none of that would have happened if he would have not married a woman who didn't care about anybody else except herself. Just don't. If it's a one-sided relationship, it's a waste of time.
And I know we all can't be doing the same exact thing.
I'm gonna try to say this without being condescending or using any cuss words.
I love being condescending, but mostly to the left, which is why I did the Donald Trump is Orange playlist, and I have an orange in every single volume. I love it because all I'm doing is giving them what they give me.
Percentage of y'all women are doing the same exact thing. Look online, look on Instagram, look on TikTok, look on Facebook. You all literally say the same exact thing. Look through the comment section. You all literally say the same exact.
I spend about 15 hours a day online because that's how I do it's the only way I can do as many shorts every day as I do, which I apologize for, but my mind races 24 hours a day and the caffeine doesn't help. But he's right when he says that women have basically become human robots because you say the same thing about everything and you either don't realize it or you do and you've all just decided that that's what you're going to roll with, but you all literally sound like artificial intelligence.
Comment. Y'all type the same exact comments. Y'all use the same exact insults, the same exact logic, all the way down to the same exact words. Then y'all talk bad about the women that aren't doing the same exact thing that you're doing.
If feminism is about female empowerment, then why can't I have a stay-at-home wife without her getting grief for it?
Women step outside of your bubble and try to be what men want.
If feminism is about empowering women, then why do you care more about the men who pretend to be women than you do about the actual women?
You call her a pick me, and then
I will take a pick me 100 times out of 100, as long as she's a 4 or better. Like Just Pearl on YouTube, I would date her if she weren't a feminist, but she's a 4, and I'm just using her as an example.
All of you say it. It's like this online world is some type of matrix, man.
No, it's because women allow themselves to be conditioned by the most powerful forces in their existences, which is why feminism was successful, even though it should have been laughed at from the very beginning.
I'm a 35-year-old living with my grandmother. Currently, I lost a 11-year relationship with my girl. Is there any hope? Please be honest. Thanks.
I'm a 41-year-old man who had the world by the balls when I was 37. And then one day I picked up a bag of potatoes the wrong way and finished off what was already a broken back. Because of that, I'm lucky if I can get 2 hours a day on my feet without my right leg giving up on me. And when it does give up on me, it feels like probably firewood does when it starts crackling and the flames get going. And every day is a struggle to understand what the point of continuing to go on is. But in spite of all the darkness, I can always find light. So my advice would be to push the darkness away and search for the light. Otherwise, you're just going to end up snacking on a gun for lunch.
No, bro. I mean, you're 35, you live with your grandma, man. Like, probably not. And to be completely honest, if your grandmother is actually one paying rent, then you probably don't deserve it.
Don't ever listen to life coaches, especially if they're in their 20s, because 50% of everything they tell you is complete bullshit, and it makes me cackle like a schoolgirl every time I hear it. Like, they'll say things like, your life is meaningless if you don't have kids. And then they'll complain because there's too many children living on welfare and bleeding their tax dollars dry. So, I mean, don't. Just find a strong male influence who isn't handcuffed to what women want him to do, and you'll be okay. The more of those guys you can find, the better. I don't give a fuck. They can hate me all they want to. I no longer have the patience for them, and I would rather that they just stay away from me, because they talk about, oh, you got to get the vaccine so that you can protect yourself from death. How much did you care about protecting me from death when you were trying to instigate a nuclear war with Russia because Hillary Clinton didn't become president?
To be honest with you, man, so what I would say is it's not fucking too late. I can almost guarantee you within 6 months of being in really, really, really good. And oddly enough, a guy that's living with his grandmother, if you got in like really good shape, you're probably out of that girl's league anyway. By the time you get in good shape, this shit happens to guys, man. Guys go through this transformation because they miss their ex-girlfriend, and at the end of the transformation,
there is not a woman on this planet who's out of a man's league, because the wall is, was, and always will be undefeated.
And they realized they were dating a girl several levels down in comparison to what they could actually get. So, no, man, you don't deserve that girl. I wouldn't live with your fucking grandma either, man. So, no, bro, you're 30.
You don't know his situation either.
5 years old, you're a grown-ass man. No, I don't. That doesn't mean I don't care for you. In fact, if anything, I'd like for you to get a foot put in your ass so you can get going, man. So, no, I don't, man. Get your ass in shape. Don't live with your fucking grandma.
Right? You're very combative when it comes to women. You like to go back and forth with women.
And wouldn't go back and forth with men in the same way. It doesn't make him zesty, sassy, or feminine. You're just used to men going, she's a woman, let me shut up and let her.
If you argue with me at all, or you raise your voice at me at all, there's the door. Well, that's the bathroom door, but you get my point.
Used to them weak, soft-spoken, nonchalant type dudes, huh? The reason guys like me don't go back.
The irony of female empowerment is that you've become so empowered that men are no longer interested enough in you to date you if you don't satisfy their standards. Congratulations. You feminized yourself. Feministed. Fisted. You fisted yourselves.
Back and forth with men is because men don't go back and forth with me. If a man start an argument with me, I'm gonna finish it. I'm a talker. We can do this all day. Women hate running into men who can talk with them and just keep it going. You know how y'all like to keep that. I'm a ooh, that's me. Ooh, that's me. But y'all hate me in real life. Y'all hate me. You're not winning no argument that you wrong about. Y'all used to men apologizing for making y'all emotional for being wrong. I remember when I stopped doing that for my wife. She'd be wrong and just get emotional, right? And I usually, I meet you. I'm sorry. I was right the whole time, but somehow I ended up apologizing. Women hate me.
You're not a man if you lose your cool in a situation where your significant other has completely lost theirs. Be stoic. Be in the middle. Think and speak rationally. That's how men roll. And I don't consider boys who are feminists men, so there's a distinction.
You go, you know what? Nah. Suck that up. Let's keep this going. You want to win every argument. Are you mad that men are arguing back?
And those male feminists are only feminists because they want to sleep with you. And you know that too. But you still keep them around.
I have never wanted a man and not gotten him.
Mia Khalifa is about to complain about something. Again.
Do you have any idea how many men have wanted me?
Yeah, maybe before your 4,000th body.
Yes, you've commodified your body. You got into the adult entertainment industry, and men just want to have a one-night experience with you, but would never dare commit or get you a ring.
He's absolutely right, and please don't get me struck, Mia. I'm surprised her parents didn't honor kill her. That's usually, I'm not trying to get a strike. I'm not trying to incite violence. It's just, I'm surprised that they didn't do that to her, because that's usually what happens, especially in extremes like this.
Start a family, have kids with you, anything. You're damaged goods.
Women like Mia Khalifa are useless, because once they turn 30, they're not even desirable sexually anymore. Just like buy her a cat and peace out.
That's the truth.
POV, she starts talking to another guy. POV, I turn around and walk away and I don't come back, even when she starts screaming and crying and yelling at me to come back. She's talking to another guy, then she doesn't care about you at all.
I don't really get the point of this post. Like, it's like hashtag pain, hashtag sad with this sad music. I guess it's supposed to be relatable or something. I think it's really simple though. If you just started talking to a girl, maybe you've gone on one date, maybe you haven't gone on a date yet, and she starts mentioning other guys, drop her. Problem that so many guys have is that they get attached before even having any sort of exclusivity with a girl. You see, the problem that guys have is that they get attached to an idea.
You should never get attached to a woman because it's impossible for a woman to love you for you. All she can love you for is what you provide for her. So getting attached to them is pointless because they will drop you like that if they think they can do better. Giselle, Tom Brady's ex-wife, is a perfect example because that crazy bitch thought she could do better than the greatest quarterback in the entire 103-year history of the National Football League, in spite of the fact that she's in her mid-40s. You birthing people have lost your goddamn minds. I'm not a woman, and I don't know if I would be attracted to Tom Brady if I were a woman, but I'm pretty sure I would be. And if I could marry him, the last thing I would ever do is walk out on him because he's playing football and making even more money for our family and providing more resources for our family. Never mind that monster, insane contract he's going to get paid to be a sports analyst after he retires. She's fucking nuts. You women have lost your goddamn marbles.
Of a girl. You'll get her number, maybe text her a few times, send her a meme or two, and then be sitting there in your bed at night, imagining situations of you and her and all these romantic scenarios. Meanwhile, she doesn't even like you. The best advice I can give you is to actually make your intentions clear from the beginning. Stop being afraid of what she might say, stop being afraid of rejection, and stop getting so attached before actually having any sort of real connection or experiences with this girl.
Exactly. And that ends another red pill TikTok somewhat cringe compilation video.